Today we're going to be working on problems that involve rate times time equals distance and then some actual area problems. So the first one we're going to look at noon, a private plane left Austin for Los Angeles, 2,100 kilometers away, flying at 500 kilometers per hour. 1 hour later, a jet left Los Angeles for Austin at 700 kilometers per hour. At what time do they pass each other? So we're going to start with our rate. Our rate just is our speed, okay? So we're going to put that in the plane. It's flying at 500, and the jet's flying at 700. Now, time. I like to think about time as the time you did work. All right, so at noon, the plane left. Okay, so we're just going to label that X, it left. All right, 1 hour later, the jet left for Los Angeles to Austin. They passed each other, so they stopped at the same time. So did the jet work 1 hour less or 1 hour more than the plane? It worked 1 hour less. So it's going to be x minus 1. Again, we get our last column by multiplying. So 500x and 700x minus 1. Now we got to think about the next question. What time did they pass each other? So when they're passing each other, their distances are equal. So we're going to set our two sides of the equation equal. So we're going to get 500x equals 700x minus 1. We're going to distribute, so we get 500x equals 700x minus 700. Combine like terms, subtract 700 from both sides. I'm sorry, we're not combining like terms. We're getting constants on one side and variables on the other. So we get negative 200x equals negative 700. Divide by negative 200. So we're going to get x equals 7 halves. Now, what is 7 halves? That's an hour. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 3.5 hours. All right, so again, if we recall, we're going to plug it in. All right. The plane left at 12. It was done 3.5 hours later. So at 3:30 p.m. is when the two items intersected each other. Next one, Quan hiked up a hill at 4 kilometers per hour and back down to 6 kilometers per hour. His total hiking trip was 3 hours. How long did the trip up the hill take him? Okay, so fill in the rates, they're easy. Up is 4, down to 6. All right, again, time is the time worked. Okay, and I have no idea how long it worked, up or down. I just know the total was 3. So up plus down equals 3. So up equals 3 minus down. So let's go ahead and label up as x. So then down is going to be, let's go ahead and label down as x. So then up is going to 3 minus x, or 3 minus down. Again, we get the last column by multiplying. So we get 4 times 3 minus x and 6x. Now, if you think about if you go somewhere and then come back from somewhere, the distance there and the distance back are equal. So we're going to set the two equations equal. So we're going to 4 times 3 minus x equals 6x. We're going to distribute. We're going to get 12 minus 4x equals 6x. Get our constants on one side, our variables on the other. So we're going to add 4x. So we get 12 equals 10x. Divide by 10, we get x equals, and I'm going to reduce. What's the biggest number that goes into 12 and 10? It's 2, so it's 6/5. So the time down is 6/5 of an hour, or 1 1/5 hours. How long did the trip up? So the time up was 3 minus 1 1/5, which equals 1 4/5. That's how long the up distance takes. So that's the answer to your question. All right, the ultralight plane has been flying for 70 minutes. When changing wind direction doubles its ground speed. The entire trip of 160 miles took 2 hours. How far did the plane travel during the first 40 minutes? Okay, so we got a plane. It's going to we're going to have rate times time equals distance. Our two categories are going to be, I'm going to call it faster and slower. It starts at a slow rate, okay? I don't know what it is. It's going to be X. Oh, I'm sorry. It's going to be X at the slow rate. And how long was it going for the slow rate? 40 minutes. And we need to put that in terms of hours. So that is 2/3 of an hour. And if you don't see that, it's 40 over 60. It's 2/3. So if it traveled for 2 hours and 2/3 of the hour was doing slow, so we got 2 minus 2/3, which equals 1/3, or 4/3. We'll do 4/3. And I have no idea about its rate, but I doubled its ground speed, so this can be 2x. Okay, how do I get the last column? I multiply. So I'm going to get 8/3 x, and I'm going to get 2/3 x. Now, in this case, I'm adding the distances, right? Slow distance plus fast distance equals my total distance, and I need that to be 160 miles. So 8/3 x plus 2/3 x equals 160 miles. When we combine like terms, we get 10/3 x equals 160. Divide by 10/3. Divide by 10/3. When I divide fractions again, I multiply by the reciprocal, so it's going to be 160 over 1 times 3 over 10. I'm going to cross cancel. 16, 48. So it's going to be 48 miles per hour for x. I'm going to put that in for x and for 2x. And then it asks for how long to travel in the first 40 minutes. So that would be the slower time, so that's my answer. If I wanted to how far it traveled after the first 40 minutes, I'd do 2 times that speed.